Welcome back to my channel and happy Easter. It is Easter, April 1st that I am filming this, and what better way to celebrate Easter than with a look done with the Kiss Glamlite Glam Eyeshadow Palette. That is what we are going to be doing today. It's so weird that today is Easter. Usually we have St. Patrick's Day in March, and then Easter is about a month after that, so we have Easter and Good Friday in April. This year Easter was like 2 weeks after St. Patrick's Day, so I kind of feel like we got ripped off of a holiday in April, since Good Friday was like, what, March 30th or something like that. So we don't even have that holiday to look forward to in April. It's just a little bit weird as far as, holidays go in 2024. But today we're going to be doing the Kiss Glamlite palette. Glamlite has launched so many things over the past like 6, 7, 8 months, and pretty much everything they do now is like a collaboration. I do kind of miss when they used to launch the really cute, food themed palettes, or like the wine collection, which is really, really cute. Now everything they do is a collaboration, and there hasn't been anything that has come up that I've really, really just wanted to get. I was tempted to get the Betty Boop collection, but then when I saw the actual palette, launched and they revealed it, I don't know, it just didn't do anything for me. But when I saw the Kiss collection, I definitely at least wanted to get the palette. And this is the little card that came with it, and I'm going to keep this. Usually I don't keep the little cards that come with the palettes, but this is just, I love this. You have the entire band on here, so we'll be keeping this. And then this is our palette. I love the fact that it actually came in a PR box. This is not the palette itself, this is the box that it came in, but you open it like this, and up here we have a picture of the group, and then this is the palette. And as you can see, the cover is holographic, so I would definitely be keeping this box to store this palette in, because this is just like the perfect collector's item if you are somebody that's into Kiss. And I actually have a friend that's into Kiss, and I'm thinking I might get the palette for her too. I think she would just be really, really excited. She and her husband have like so much Kiss memorabilia, and I know that they would appreciate this added to their collection. Pop the palette out. Once again, we have our holographic cover, which I just think is so cool. And then we have our palette. It has a mirror. The band is right there. I don't usually keep the plastic sleeves, but I really like the design on this one, so I'm going to keep that too. But this is our color story. I'm going to drop in some close-ups of what this looks like. There are 9 shimmers in this palette, and first of all, I just want to note, these shimmers, they didn't feel like the shimmers that are in like the previous Glamlite palettes that I have. The Ice Cream Dreams palette, I have a couple from the wine, and I think I also have like the red velvet one. The shimmers, especially in the Ice Cream Dreams palette, are very creamy. They're very smooth. They're very shiny. These were a little more gritty, and I don't usually have that kind of an issue with Glamlite shimmers. Usually they're really smooth, and so I had a little bit more difficulty when I was doing the swatches. So I'm very curious to see how they're going to perform on the eyelid. As far as the mattes, there are 11, and once again, with the mattes, they were a little bit drier, and that's not something that I usually have an issue with where Glamlite's formula is concerned. They weren't as smooth and silky as the Glamlite mattes usually are. Surprisingly, the shade that was just the smoothest and just the most buttery in this palette when I did the swatches was the black, which is usually not the case. The color story, I think, is absolutely beautiful. I love these rich, deep, grungy shades. I think this is a perfect color story for a Kiss themed palette, and I'm very glad that I went ahead and picked this up and added to my collection regardless of how the shadows perform. I bought this for my collection. I'm looking on the website because I wanted to make sure to check if the collection, if the palette was still in stock, and it is. The entire collection is still in stock. Nothing has sold out. We have a Kiss Glamlite PR box. This is the whole collection. That's $120. You can get that actually has the PR box with it, which actually looks kind of cool. We have the Kiss Glamlite full collection. If you don't get the PR box with it, is $99 on sale. It was $106 before. It would be cool if you can buy just the PR box itself, because that's actually kind of cool. They have a lenticular motion makeup bag, which is $35. That's kind of pricey in my opinion for a makeup bag. The palette by itself was $36. I think that's pretty reasonable, especially since it comes, in the display box, which I think is like really freaking cool. They have the lip kit. I didn't get anything else in the collection because the only thing that I was interested in was the eyeshadow palette. Nothing else just really stood out to me as something that I would need. Definitely don't need a lip kit. I have so many red lipsticks, but they do have a red lip kit that has a lipstick and a lip pencil. That's $14. There is a mascara duo. There's one white, one black. That's $16. There's a mirror. That's $26. And they also have two bases. They're eye bases, but I've actually seen pictures of people using them as face bases. One is black, one is white, and that's $14. So yeah, I think the entire collection is like really cool, but for me personally, the eyeshadow palette was the only thing that just stood out to me to get. But if they had the PR box by itself, I would probably buy just that box. I think it's pretty cool. I've already primed my eyelids using my ColourPop Party Proof eyeshadow primer in Caramel, so let's go ahead and get to putting this look together. And I pretty much already have an idea of what it is that I'm wanting to do. Alright, so I know I definitely want to dive into this black. That shade is called Black Diamond, and I definitely want to go into the Demon, which is the red shade, and I think I want to go a little bit lighter in the inner portion with a lighter purple. This shade is called the Star Child, so I think these three mattes are where we're going to start with, and then I'll decide once we do that where I'm going to go with as far as the shimmers. I'm going to start with Star Child to go ahead and lay that down in the inner portion, and then we'll go from there. I'm using the E132. This is from Shop Miss A, so this brush is like $1, very, very affordable. So if any of you guys picked up this palette has actually been out for a while. I think it launched like 2 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer than that. I've actually had it in my possession for a little over a week. I just didn't have time to film with it, or rather I just wasn't up to filming with it. I mentioned before that I had a lot of stuff that happened in March. I had a car accident, which I haven't mentioned up until now, but I had a car accident. My car was totaled, but I was able to get another car, and my insurance agency valued my Nissan, the one that was totaled, at a high enough value that the remainder that I had to pay on it, which was like around $13,000, they valued it high enough so that that completely covered it. So I don't have a remaining balance or anything. I don't have to worry about, gap insurance covering that. So I mean, very excited about that. The accident wasn't my fault. Somebody ran a red light. Let me go ahead and move into putting into the red. I'm going to use my Real Techniques pointed crease brush. I'm interested in seeing how this red performs because, sometimes red can come off pink and not red. But yeah, somebody ran a red light at an intersection. I was trying to turn, or left rather. The light turned red, so of course, I didn't turn. I stopped. And I looked straight into this woman's eyes. She was an older woman, and she was in a white SUV, and I looked right into her eyes. And she hit the gas like she was going to try to run the light and smacked right into the front of my car. And I knew when she hit it that she totaled it. I knew without even seeing the damage yet. I knew that my car was totaled. Thankfully, I was fine. If I was in a smaller vehicle, I probably would have had to make a trip to the emergency room, but because my car is like driving a tank, I love feeling like I'm driving a tank. I was fine, which is the most important thing. But yeah, the car was totaled. And because of the fact that there were no witnesses, nobody to actually prove what I was saying to be true, that this woman ran the red light, I ended up getting the citation because they said that since she was going straight, she had the right of way, and I fell to safety protocol something. So they gave me a citation. They told me I don't have to go to court, but I'm not just going to pay this ticket. I am going to go. I probably won't be able to prove anything because of the fact that there are no witnesses, but I should be able to take one of those 4-hour driving courses or something, so it won't actually show up on my record. And like I said, the settlement covered the cost of how much the remaining balance on the Nissan, so I was able to go get a new car. I got a Dodge Journey, which I absolutely love. Like I said, I like feeling like I'm driving a tank, and I definitely feel like I'm in a tank when I'm in this new vehicle. So even though things didn't go the way that I would like for them to have gone, I'm okay. I was able to get a new car, so we're good. But like I said, a lot happened, and I had intended to film this video yesterday, the 31st, but my allergies started acting up really bad, and it just was not going to happen. So, and that brings us to today, Easter, April 1st. So hopefully the rest of 2024 is going to be a little better because it sure did not start off very well. Let me tell you that. All right, so far these shadows are actually blending beautifully. They were a little dry in the swatches, but I'm not really having an issue as far as blending them on my eyelid. They seem to work pretty well. I'm happy about that. This red is also red. It's not looking pink on my eyelid. It is actually red, and I love that too. I'm going to blend a little bit into the outer corner before I lay down the black. All right, now to do a little smokiness with this black shade, I'm going to take my detailed brush from Beauty Bay, and we're going to go into Black Diamond, and we're going to lay that just a little bit on this outer portion just to add a little bit more glam and a little bit more deepness right in here. Oh, that is a gorgeous black. Oh, that is pretty. It's rich. It's smooth. It's super pigmented. Oh, that is nice. We always love a good black shade. when I do my liner, I may just line this inner portion and not worry about the outside, because this black is so nice. Something I want to make quick note of, there is no fallout anywhere on my face. Even with the black, it just went exactly where I wanted it to be, and I don't have any fallout anywhere. And there's also no like fallout and dust in the palette either. Love it. This formula is absolutely gorgeous. All right, and let's move into the shimmers real quick. The question is, what do I want to do? Because honestly, I'm not sure. I definitely think I want to go in the inner corner with this one. This is called Spaceman, and this is a really pretty, like shifty, very light kind of icy shade. So that's definitely going to go in the inner corner. What are we going to put on our lid? I think I want to kind of go the opposite of the colors that are on my lid right now. Let's do this blue. This shade is called Detroit Rock City, so let's put that on the lid. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take Alive, which is this green. We'll put that like kind of in the outer portion, and then we'll go into Detroit Rock City kind of in the middle, and then we'll go into the inner corner with the Space Jam. That is what we will do. Let's start with laying down a glitter base, because I feel like these shimmers are going to need it. This is just the base booster from BH Cosmetics that I have been using. I'm going to take Alive, and I use that same sticky side of the brush, and I'm going to lay this down. Oh, that is pretty. It's a deep, rich, like cool toned jade, if that's making any sense. Kind of a little bit of blue. Ooh, that is actually very pretty. They were kind of gritty when I did the swatches, but I'm not having any trouble with getting onto my eyelid. Oh, that is a beautiful shade. Ooh, I'm loving it. I'm using this smaller detail flat brush from Revolution to lay down Detroit Rock City. We're just going to lay that right here. Oh, that's pretty. Oh, that's pretty. And that one actually has just a bit of a shift to it. Oh, wow. Wow. That is gorgeous. To finish off, we are going to go into the Spaceman and just lay that on the inner corner with this little small Eloise brush. That's a really pretty kind of a frosty white to blue shade. I'm loving it. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go off camera. I'm going to finish off the rest of this look, and then we'll come back and I'm going to give you my final first impression thoughts on this palette. We're back. Final look is done. Let me give you my details of how I finished off this look for my wing. I did go ahead and do like a small wing on the outside. I'm using from AOA Studio my Artista liner in black. My liner is from Trace Luce. This is the Intenso liner. This one is kind of a pearlescent white. The shade is called Icy. For my lips, I thought about going red, but I don't know. I just kind of felt like that would be too much. So I wanted something a little more softer, a little more subtle, you know, in contrast to the eye look. So my lip pencil is from Beauty Bay in Heart. And then my lip color, this is from the Grease Revolution collaboration. The shade is in Sandy. It's just a really soft kind of a pink nude shade. All right, now for my final first impression thoughts of this palette, and I might do some more looks in my shorts tab, but you guys, first of all, the packaging on point, and this color story, absolutely gorgeous. The formulas, even though the mattes were a little bit dry when I did the swatches, and the shadow and the shimmers were a little bit gritty, going on the eyelid, putting together a look, I had absolutely no issues at all. These shimmers, so shiny, very wet looking, kind of glitzy, glittery, with something you would expect, you know, from a Kiss palette. And all the shades that I used of the mattes, and I used, you know, some of these deeper shades, blended like butter. They went on so smooth. I didn't have any issues with blending or anything. I'm just overall loving the way that this look came out, and I'm very, very happy that I decided to pick this palette up and add it to my collection. I think it's absolutely beautiful. So that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you found it helpful, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up. It really does help with getting my videos into recommendations. If you're new to my channel, you are not already subscribed, I would love it if you would consider joining my little family. Hitting subscribe, make sure you tap the bell so you don't miss a thing. You can also follow me on my other socials. I am on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Be safe, take care of yourself, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.